Hi, everybody. Welcome to SPTV Never Ends and Artology. I have a new webcam and, excuse me, I should have done that before I came on, huh? Cleared my throat. Anyway, I have a new webcam going, so hopefully this recording will record and I won't go back and just have a black screen like I did last time I tried this. Um, and I don't really have a whole lot planned for today, so I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow and see what happens. I'm gonna have to reposition my webcam. I have it over my desk right now, but it's not facing down to my work area. So I'm gonna try that. But um, my disclaimer is I'm not an art therapist, but I do use art for my personal therapy. And I wanted to read you 10 tips on how to heal from trauma. I found this on the internet, of course. Some of them are pretty good. One, find a safe place to process your feelings. And for me, of course, that's usually my studio, sometimes my bedroom. Two, lean into the discomfort. Ugh, who likes to do that? That's what I always try to get away from is the discomfort. But I guess we need to learn to lean into it. Exercise and move your body. Find a creative outlet. Of course, mine is art and all different forms. Prioritize self-care. Adopt healthy coping mechanisms. Reach out for support. Take time to acknowledge your progress. Avoid self-blame. That one's hard too. And find meaning in your experience. They go on to say emotional and psychological trauma is the result of extraordinarily stressful events that shatter your sense of security. The effects are often long-lasting and can deeply affect an individual's physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual well-being. Good news, art provides a healthy outlet when words fail. So sometimes just talking about it isn't enough, or you can't think of the right words. And so instead of beating yourself up about it, the creative outlet lets you speak through your creativity. Um, art also calms trauma responses. So that's cool. Let's see. So, oh, then I wanted to read this real quick to you. Feeling stuck in a trauma loop? Are you feeling stuck in a repeating trauma pattern from the past that you cannot seem to think or feel your way out of? Good news. Your deeper creative unconscious mind wants to give you messages for healing. You just need to learn how to access it. Trauma loops are pervasively repetitive, and you can become emotionally overwhelmed very fast. Excuse me. A trauma loop is a brain and body state that has created a pain repeating pathway in your nervous system. As you repeat similar ways of closing down your body, heart, and mind in fear, over time it gets stuck in a difficult to change trauma loop. Instead of further embedding the loop in your body, mind, and heart, you can find ways to invite truth of your intuition to interrupt repetitive patterns of pain. The emotional healing process occurs through pain pattern interruption because all healing occurs in the present moment, and healing insights can be accessed through your intuition. Trauma can become frozen in the body, so be encouraged. Get into the flow of your body's wisdom through daily, spontaneous, creative art projects. They can be as simple or as complex as you choose, and you are not required to have artistic talent or skill. Come as you are and enjoy the ride. We all have an artist inside of us. I truly believe that. So, remember I told you to that we were going to do a collage. I showed you here. I'll bring it down again. Um, in a humanities class I had, we were to do a collage of, I forget the theme, but I called mine, I named it My World, and I went to a thrift store and I got a little globe that was broken, but it had the stand, and I decided to put everything in my world that I liked onto the globe. And I have all kinds of stuff on here. Um, there's a picture of my son and I, and a peace sign. I have a cross. I have an art palette. I have a baseball player, a watering can for gardening, paint brushes, American flag. I mean, all kinds of stuff on here. And so for our collage project, I wanted you to find something to start gluing your cutouts on besides just like a poster board. I mean, a poster board's fine, but I challenge you to get a little creative and find something different that you can use as a canvas. So I went around the house and I found, oops, I'm trying to grab it with my feet because I forgot to drag it out. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Oh my goodness. This is not working. Sorry about that. I had to put it on pause and get my ruler to drag this out. Anyway, I found this was a can, and at Christmas time, someone sent us this can, and look how little it is. Remember how big the cans of popcorn used to be? And you open it up, and there's 3 different kinds of popcorn, usually um, um, buttered popcorn, cheese popcorn, and caramel popcorn or something like that. Well, look how small the cans have gotten. It's about the size of a paint can. They used to be huge. So I named my can, can you see it? Yes, I can. That was funny because this is a can, and so yes, I can. So this is my can. I'm going to make my collage on it, and I started it. And since I don't have a lot of magazines laying around the house, I was going through all of those drawers back there are filled with different things, but I ran across these, I don't even know what they are, but like each one has tons of like clip art, or some of them have transparencies. This one has a bunch of smaller, I don't know, butterflies, old stamps, all kinds of different things. But I have a lot of this stuff. Here's another one. It's filled with flowers and butterflies and words and on and on and on. I have a ton of it. So I'm going to start going through these and picking out the ones that hit me in a certain mood or a certain way and start gluing them onto my can. And you can see I started here. This goes about this big paper goes about halfway around the can. And I already have flowers and a butterfly. And then on this side I have more flowers and a butterfly. And I don't know if I'm going to continue this paper on around. I haven't decided yet. And I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to put on it, but I know I'm going to be able to find plenty in all of these packages that I have. So that's what I have going on. Oops. Now they're spilling out for my collage. Please, in the comments, leave me what you chose to use as your canvas and what are you naming your project, your collage project. And I wanted to tell you that for a collage, you don't have to do it, like any certain way. This is what it said on a website. It says, sit down with a pile of old magazines or whatever, maps, old books that you can cut out of or anything. Start thumbing through and cut out images, textures, and colors without thinking or judging. Glue down anything that excites or intrigues you in fresh and spontaneous ways. Look for things that catch your eye. Let the images and colors speak for you. Replace words with pictures or glue down words. You don't have to replace your words with pictures. You can use actual words. Anything you want to say, any way you want to say it. It's an exercise with no rules. Or you can make rules up as you go for yourself. It's up to you. You are free to express yourself any way you choose, of course. So, like I said, there's no rules. Make your own rules or don't have rules for yourself. Be spontaneous. Things that jump out to you. Try to have like different textures and colors like it said. And let's see what we come up with in, I'm going to say 20 days. I might have to extend it. I am planning on going to Austin on the 8th. I won't get there till the 9th because I think I'm going to take a bus because I found a $47 ticket one way. So I'm working on that. And so when I'm in Austin, I won't be able to, of course, work on any art projects except chalk tech. Y'all, I have been loading up on chalk, and I have puffy chalk, and I have chalk holders, and I have this one chalk holder that holds 3 different colors at once. I am going prepared to do some chalk art and chalk tech. I think that would be fun. I'm hoping that Pearl Snappy and Selfless are going to be there. I emailed Pearl Snappy the other day and haven't heard back. I'm going to check my email this morning to see what's going on. But in the meantime, I'm going to pause this. Of course, by the time you get it, there won't be a pause, but I'm going to try to change my camera real quick to show my desk. Okay, so I have several things going on over here at my desk. So I decided that I'm going to try to show you the back of my desk. In this corner, I have a ton of earrings I'm working on. These are squirrels. I have all different kinds. I have a pile of ear wires that I made out of sterling silver that I need to work harden. The more you mess with metal, the harder it gets. And you can either do that by hand with a little rubber mallet type hammer, or you can put it into a tumbler. And I have a brand new tumbler I've never used. So when I pull it out, I'll show you how that works. So I have that corner. I have clay over here and over here. Here's my pasta machine. This is what I use to condition the clay. And I have pulled out a bunch of colors because I am going to take you from this to this. This is a pendant that I made, abstract, of course. And this is a mirror image. If you can see the line kind of going down the middle, that side mirrors this side. And I'll show you how that's done. That's called a Natasha bead. Here's another one. This was made out of scrap clay. Well, that's two, but this is one that's finished. That's the front. And on the back, I have stamped in a design. I don't know how well you can see it there. You can see I don't leave the backs of the pendants plain. I have a design I put on there. And here is another one. This was scrap clay. And the back, I decorated the back of this one also. It's hard to see in the light, isn't it? Kind of cool. So what I did, all of this this scrap clay came from, now these are called canes. Don't ask me why. This is a flower cane, and if you make slices of this, let me just show you. I'll make a slice. These are called canes for some reason. I don't know who gave them the name or why they do it. I have gold leaf wrapped around it. Anyway, I made some canes. I'm trying to remember what cane I made where I have the green. Anyway, let me make this slice because I just want to show you. You make a slice and you have it's this all the way through. You'll have, the same image all the way through. I'll show you how to do that one of these times too. And what I do is I made this little tool, and so I push in the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to give it some definition, and I turn it over and I do the same to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I take another handy dandy tool. This is just silicone, and on each petal I push down and make a little indentation to give my flower some movement and depth, and you end up with a pretty little, if you poke a hole through it, then you can string it and you have a little bead. Pretty cool, huh? So I'm not going to use scraps to show you how to get our Natasha pendant, Natasha beads, Natasha pendants. And I have different colors. Some are pearlescent, some aren't. I think, oh, excuse me, this phone over here. I apologize. Actually, let me turn it off. I guess that might help. Oh, I got the neatest thing. I got a 360. This will follow me around the room, and I can make a recording and move around the room. So I'm going to learn how to do that next, so I won't have to just be sitting in one spot. Anyway, I haven't decided what colors I'm going to use exactly because I have a lot of them out. And you don't have to use pearl with pearl. You can mix them. Sculpey makes several different kinds of clay, and the worst is Sculpey 3. I recommend not buying this, and I have a few packages that I bought before I found out that it's terrible clay, because after you bake it, it's so brittle that it usually ends up either cracking or breaking in half, and it drives people crazy because they'll work on a project for hours, and then after when they pull it out of the oven and try to string it, it will break. But I found that I can use very small amounts in with my scrap clay, and it it won't matter. You just can't use it by itself. They also make primo and souffle. And I'm not exactly sure of the differences in these two. I just know that both the Sculpey Souffle and the Sculpey Primo are both very good. And that's the clay I work with most of the time. I have a little bit of Cernet, but it's translucent clays, and I'll tell you all about that another time. But I also have one other brand that I have pretty much of, but I don't use it very often either because it's hard. It's harder clay. Here's the Cernet, Cernet. They have some really neat colors, but it's more transparent, and this is more opaque, and that's why I don't use the Cernet very much. Cernet does make non-transparent clays, but I don't have any of it. Fimo is another popular brand, and it says Fimo soft, but the Fimo is hard, a lot harder than the Sculpey. So I don't use the Fimo very much because I have to condition it a lot more. Now you can get the pasta machines that are electric. Mine is a hand crank because I don't mind hand cranking it, and I just have never, well, one, I've never had the money to buy an electric one, but also I've never really wanted one. So when I did have the money, I found other things I would rather buy than an electric pasta machine. So what colors am I going to use? This is, let me see, these four are the pearlescent colors. Let's see. They put the names on different sides of the packages. This is peacock pearl, and this is purple pearl. This is, I use a lot of this. What's it called? This is just called pearl. And this pretty green is called bright green pearl. So I know I want to have some oranges and pinks. Maybe two kinds of, how about, you know what, how about we just use a little bit of all this? That's what I'm going to do. So this is how I do it. I use this is my blade. They're sharp, be careful. And I use their guidelines. Each of these blocks is, was it 2 ounces of clay, I believe? Uh, yes, each package holds 2 ounces of clay. If I use this big of a chunk from all of these, this is going to be a big um, rectangle by the time we finish. This is all of these are going to turn into this that we are going to slice off of. So there's the green, there's the pearl, here's the peacock. I think, well, I was going to say I was going to use less of that, but I think I'll just stick to what I'm doing. And here, I'm going to use less of this because I have a darker shade of purple I want to throw in there also. That doesn't seem like very much, does it? Maybe a little bit more. Okay. Now, this clay does not have to be conditioned because I'm not gonna, I don't have any need to roll it out. I'll show you what we're going to do with it instead. So you don't need to condition the clay that you're going to use to make a Natasha bead. I'm going to use half of the square of this other shade of green. What's it called? It is called, oh, it's the writing rubbed off, but I think it says jade. So that's jade green. Let's throw some orange in there. Oh, you know what color I wanted to put in here also was some yellow. And I didn't take any yellow out. I might reach over and grab some yellow. And here's that Sculpey 3, which I'm not going to use very much of, but I wanted a little pink in it, if you know what I mean. I really like pink. This is kind of a bright bubblegum pink, though, but that's okay. It doesn't look as bright and bubblegummy on the camera as it does in real life. And it has sparkles in it. This is called pink glitter. The sparkles are glitter. So let me grab some yellow. And I have, oops, I have some yellow that I need to make more of my SPTV necklaces with. Here's a small version. I put this on a choker, SPTV. I also have them on leather, adjustable leather, SPTV, and it's on an adjustable leather cord. Here's another small one, and here's a big magnet. Kind of cool. But anyway, so I'm not going to use a lot of my yellow because before I go to Austin, I need to make some to take as gifts. And this is Sculpey Souffle Canary Yellow. Yeah, I want to add. That's a lot of clay, you guys. I'm going to end up with a big a block of clay tidbits that we make into a roll. Let's see. I think I will use a little bit less of the yellow too. Not that much less, but a little bit less. And I just cut it with the wrong side of the blade. Golly, that happens sometimes. You have to be careful. I didn't cut myself, but I easily could have. So once you get the clay like this, you start chunking, making it into little chunks. So this is how I do it. You don't want to get them too small because you could end up with if you make and mix the clay too much, like make it too small and mix it too much. We're going to mix it by hand, but if you what I do is I kind of scatter it. It ends up being too busy, and you don't end up with like a nice design. You end up with just a mess, and it just looks like I don't know. It looks like bad. So don't want to get the chunks too small. And so I spread it out, and I continue on. And I will be right back. Y'all don't need to watch me do all of this. So let me get this chopped up, and I'll be right back. And so after you chop it up, you end up with a pile like this, and you want it mixed really good. Like I just kind of sprinkled it here and there. And what we're going to do now is stop, and I'm going to make a part 2 so the videos don't end up being too long that people get bored. I want to try to keep them around 30 minutes. So I have been here 32 minutes, and I want to say thank you for showing up, and I hope you like how this is going, and you will tune in for part 2. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you real soon. Bye now.